Business Focus, brought to you by KCB. KCB, making the difference.
Hello and welcome to Business Focus, the only business show that gives both the small and medium-scale entrepreneurs across the East African region a platform to borrow and learn from each other the best business practices, hence boost growth. Here's a brief look on what to expect on today's show.
Emerging opportunities in recycling and how individuals and groups can exploit them. The impact of water harnessing to farming in semi-arid areas, and a Kenyan lady who is banking her way to success and has demonstrated that entrepreneurship opportunities are like buses. There's always another one coming.
Recycling of waste paper has turned out to be a lucrative business right here in Kenya. So in this segment, we'll showcase how the Chandaria industry has taken advantage of this opportunity that has presented itself in the Kenyan market to create jobs and make profits for many.
Urbanization has transformed waste into a major public health and environmental concern in our urban areas, pushing for the need by both the public and private sector to manage both solid and biodegradable waste. To ensure sustainable environment and reduction of solid waste through source separation of the valuable material and recycling them, the East African community has developed entrepreneurial initiatives of solving this problem. In Kenya, for instance, a few years ago it was not common to see waste management initiatives, but today they are a big part of the waste management sector, both in residential areas and cities. In the region, Chandaria Industries Limited is one of the bigger players in the recycling business. Located at the Chandaria complex in Ruaraka, the firm recycles old biodegradable papers from the region to manufacture tissue products.
So Chandaria Industries has been in existence for about 48 years now, for over 48 years. We have 3 factories locally here in Kenya and we have 1 factory in Tanzania. All of them are doing the same thing, recycling. We have a product portfolio of about 369 products as well.
A lot of paper is used because, as we all know, paper has no weight. So there is a lot of tonnage required to be recycled to produce even only 1 kilo of a finished product in terms of toilet roll. And by so doing, I think there is a lot of waste paper that is off our Kenyan streets, which ends up into our factory and ends up back again on either a supermarket shelf and eventually in somebody's house.
The company has a supply chain of old newspapers from all parts of the country. They receive different grades of old papers, sort them, then process them.
The recycling process is quite a technical process. We buy waste paper from companies such as institutions, banks. We also buy from individuals.
Recycling involves mixing used paper with water and chemicals to break them down. Chopping and further heating is done, breaking them down further into pulp.
It then comes to our factories on our trucks. We put it through a process called the de-inking process. The de-inking process, what it does is separates the ink from the paper. So you get plain paper.
It is passed through screens to remove any glue or plastic that may still exist in the mixture, then cleaned, de-inked, bleached and mixed with water. It is then made into several new recycled items ranging from sanitary tissue, towel products among other products.
Once that is done, it goes through a 3-stage cleaning process, which then produces the raw material, which is called a jumbo reel. The jumbo reel is then transferred to our converting department, and that's where the finished product is then produced.
The company has partnered with institutions like schools, companies, the city council and the environmental groups.
We buy waste paper such as newsprint. We buy certain white paper from banks, from schools. That's the type of paper we use in the waste.
This is why we encourage businesses to partner with us in us helping to manage their waste paper, because a lot of offices, schools, banks have paper at large, and we are thus able to then approach them and get this paper off them rather than them just throwing it and littering the environment.
And individuals to enable them contribute in keeping the environment clean and generate income from the initiative.
We've been able to reduce the stress for City Council in terms of having cleaner streets And we encourage people and companies at large to not throw away their paper, but either approach us, and City Council will also be happy with them to ensure that their environment and their neighborhood is kept clean. And I guess, yes, that's in a way we are also helping to keep our city clean.
The company welcomes any individuals, groups and organizations to become part of this initiative by supplying them with old papers, and in turn they receive revenue out of it.
What we can guide them in terms of starting is, like we've said, we have various individuals and companies that we partner with in getting this waste paper to our factory. So rather than throwing the paper, they should approach us. At least they will get something out of it, which will help them earn their daily living.
Other players in the recycling industries include the Global Bioenergy, a company that manufactures fencing and signposts from recycled consumer plastic waste in Dandora.
When we started in 2011, our revenue has increased by 100%, and per day we make around 150 poles, and we sell at about 500 to 3,000 shillings depending on which product we are selling. So you can imagine the business is sustainable, it's profitable, and I encourage youths and even people outside there not to look at waste as waste. It can be a huge resource, and I don't regret.
They too encourage the neighboring communities to participate in environmental conservation by collecting plastic waste and supplying the company with a commodity at an agreed fee.
What we do in EcoPost is we work with youth and women groups who have various collection sites around different parts of the Nairobi and even outside the Nairobi. We normally go and buy the plastic waste from them, and then they work with, maybe we can say, the street boys who collect the plastic and sell to these youth women groups. Then the women sell it to us at a margin.
Sayanka Kareso, an entrepreneur in Kiserian, has also made tremendous efforts in keeping the environment clean by recycling paper. He claims to be the first East African to produce eco-pencils made from recycled paper.
We start by cutting into the length of the lid for the graphite. After that, we get the graphite and actually adhere it onto the paper that has already been cut. Then after that we call that process pasting. Then after that we put it into our machine where it's rolled by hand. And after that then we go for the hardening process, which takes about 8 hours. Then after that we go to the drying stage. Then we have to cut the pencil to size. Then after that has been done, we have to polish it to remove any rough edges. And after removing the rough edges, we now can put now the covers of whichever client we want. And after that, we take it to our machine, which laminates the cover. And after lamination, we come to sharpening, then packaging and distribution.
He produces thousands of pencils every day, with his target market being primary schools and institutions. These initiatives have proved that there are massive opportunities to generate income from environmental conservation and recycling.
Today we have close to about 1,700 employees at this premises alone. And across the board it's about 4,500 employees.
I think for any manufacturing company in today's world, with the boom of the economy that has been experienced over the past few years, we have seen a growth. And as much as competition is very stiff in today's world, we are trying to grow at a rate that will benefit not only our employees but the Kenyan economy as a whole.
Individuals and groups can generate income either by collecting waste and supplying established companies with the same, or developing new unique products in the market which have a higher value.
We now take a short commercial break, but Business Focus will be right back. Time with a farmer who is practicing horticulture and fish farming in a semi-arid area. They are in Limuru.
Entrepreneurs are a very essential part of the East African workforce. The creative thinking of entrepreneurs has helped many of them to flourish in the midst of hard financial times. Entrepreneurs often shine the brightest when under pressure, making them very important to the society as they continue to benefit the economy in many ways, among them creating employment, introducing new products and services. They say entrepreneurship opportunities are like buses. There's always another one coming. This week we set off to Ndeya Farm in Limuru, where we met Mr. Kahara, a successful entrepreneur who has ventured into horticulture. Mr. Kahara owns a 7-acre piece of land which he has since transformed into a money-making investment. On this farm, you find diverse kinds of agricultural products, all thriving well despite the tough climatic conditions of the area. He grows crops such as cabbages, pepper, cucumbers and tomatoes. He also practices livestock and fish farming.
Mambo ya farming nianza tu wakati nitoka shule. Shule yenye nilikuwa nasomea day school karibu na nyumbani, naitwa Geni High School. Na huko nilikuwa nafanya subject ya agriculture. Na ikanifutia sana kwa sababu wakati nilikuwa nikisoma nilikuwa nikiona wazazi wangu wakihangaika sana. My father alikuwa retired soldier. Na kwa hivyo nikaona alikuwa na shida nyingi sana.
Ndeya region is naturally savanna and is therefore faced with an acute water shortage. However, Kahara has devised a way of ensuring a constant supply of water on his farm by digging 2 dams which provide sufficient water all year long for irrigation.
Shida ya maji ndio nyingi. Ndeya hakuna mto, hata stream, hata swamp area. Kulingana na vile Mungu aliumba hapa, kulikuwa tosa savanna area, kulikuwa na nyazi hata miti hakukuwako. Umeona kwangu nimechubua demu 2 ya maji. Demu moja nikachibua na tractor na demu nyingine tukachibua na mikono. Nikatumia vijana 10, tukatumia miaka 2.5. Sasa for the past 5 years, sasa mimi niko na maji ya kutosha.
Kahara has since been practicing farming for the last 15 years. He tells us that his success in agriculture is as a result of lifelong lessons, patience and determination.
Kwa kila kazi iko na shida ya ukulima, tuseme kama wakati jua iko kali sana. Unaona utakuwa ukitumia maji nyingi na unaona utakuwa ukitumia stima au petrol nyingi, ukitumia petrol nyingi, na kwa hivyo itakuwa unatumia pesa nyingi.
In order to maintain a high productive season, Kahara has embraced the best agricultural practices, among them practicing crop rotation, a practice in which different crops are grown in the same land through successive seasons. This practice, if well planned, can help conserve the productivity of the soil, making the farm productive all year round. This further increases efficiency in handling of labor, power and equipment, as well as a reduction in weather and market risks.
Mimi nafanya kitu tunaita early planting. Kwa hivyo programu yangu nilianza kama mwezi wa 8, 9. Umeona tuko na mumea yenye iko tayari. Umeona tuko na hii mumea yenye tayari ni ya mwezi wa 8. Mumea ingine mumeona iko ya mwezi wa 9. Sasa ya mwezi wa 9 itakuwa tayari by December. Sasa kwa sababu sana horticulture tunataka kupanda kitu yenye itatoka shamba haraka na kitu yenye income yake itakuwa juu kidogo. Kwa sababu an intensive farming unatumia pesa nyingi, unaajiri watu wengi. Ndio sasa unajaribu kufanya kitu yenye utapata faida.
He transports the produce up to 3 times a week to Nairobi, which forms his main market.
Kwa kilimo tunasema kilimo biashara. Kabla ya kupanda lazima utafute soko yako. Kama sasa umeona leo tumechuna cauliflower. Na hiyo oda yake ilikuwa iko na kijana moja tumekaa na yeye sana. Anapelekaga uchumi na tena anapeleka ako na oda Nairobi. Tena tuko na oda katika hapa Nairobi sana sana ABC. Hapo ni wateja wangu wa miaka nyingi, na tena hupeleka City Park. Na kuwa na onda, tuna contract na mwenye ataninulia, na hiyo ninaona inanisaidia sana.
Fish farming is another venture undertaken by Kahara in collaboration with 2 church leaders. The fish pond keeps close to 1,000 fish, and they are reared up to 7 months before harvesting. Since Ndeya region is a semi-arid area with no single stream of water, they majorly depend on well water to fill and recycle the fish pond. The fish pond has been of benefit to the community as well as a means of income generation. Kahara has also offered employment opportunities to at least 8 people and makes a monthly profit of more than 80,000 shillings. Kahara has demonstrated that a true entrepreneur must be humble and aggressive enough to get into a venture, smart enough to learn the pros and cons of the venture, and strong enough to persevere as he works to make the business excel.
We spend time with the Cakeland bakers who have employed creativity to boost their business.
Kenya's government initiative to empower women through providing them with the Women Enterprise Fund has contributed largely in poverty alleviation, with most women gaining access to microfinance funds to venture into various businesses. Involvement of women in successful income-generating activities is slowly but surely translating into greater control and empowerment of women in Kenya. Today, we spend time with Damaris Obogi, an empowered single mother of 1 whose story can be told in 3 words, which is patience, focus, and determination. She lost her formal job as a cashier but managed to borrow a loan to enable her initiate a business she had always wished to, which is baking. With knowledge and skills in baking, Damaris Obogi initiated a bakery in Gara area a year ago, a decision that is transforming her life.
I started last year, August, when I just lost my job. So I had to look something which can keep me busy, at least to earn something.
With simple working tools she acquired upon commencing the business, she bakes all kinds of cakes ranging from wedding cakes, birthday cakes, and anniversary cakes, among others. Her biggest challenge in the venture has been the unsteady pricing of ordinary ingredients such as sugar, margarine, flour, icing sugar, eggs, preservatives, and many more. She has, however, learned how to combat the problem by purchasing the raw materials at a wholesale price, and moreover when the prices are low.
Cream, both sugar and the margarine together until it's creamy, something like whitish. Yeah, after that you add the vanilla, which is a flavor, or any flavor. You can use pineapple, you can use chocolate, strawberry. Yeah, as long as the customer has told you to use any, or the particular one. Yeah, for the flavor we put 2 teaspoons. From there we add flour, so you cream together.
She believes that venturing into the baking industry has inclined her above many business persons who delve into similar businesses, hence getting into very stiff competition and reducing their profit margins as a result. In the recent months, her business has been experiencing a rapid growth. She makes a wide range of cakes whose prices range from 1,500 to 40,000 shillings and sells a minimum of 3 cakes per day.
I usually go look for orders and then I bake. So I just do from indoors, not just like something like you can find it on a display in a house somewhere. No, I just do it orders.
Damaris is working towards expanding her business so as to enable her serve a large number of clients for occasions such as weddings and anniversaries.
It's all about how determined you are. Yeah. There's no need of giving up, no need of just sitting idle. At least you can do something to earn a living.
Despite the small steps she has been taking, she is focused on making her dream come true. The income generated from the business has enabled her raise and educate her son. She has demonstrated that if we raise the status of women in our society, we stand a chance of improving the economy at large.
That's all we had on today's show. Do send us your feedback about the show on our email address bf@standardmedia.co.ke or SMS number 8041. Let's also continue with this conversation on our Facebook page or Twitter handle displayed on your screen. Till next week, for myself and the entire KTN team, it's good night and God bless.